Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Magic and Miracles, where you learn how to be the magician of your life. My name is Anna, and I'm your most favorite manifestation coach under the sun. Reason why there's no such coaching program like my coaching program anywhere on the internet. Reason why is because I designed it for the last 8 years that I've been a coach. And also, nobody spends as much time with and on their clients like I do. True story. All the information from me is below. I wanted to make sure that I let you know I added a new package for the coaching packages, of which I recommend 2 to 3 months in coaching with me minimum, and I interact with you 2 to 3 times per week, whichever coaching package you choose, which also doesn't exist anywhere. But the new package is new phone call unlimited, monthly phone call coaching unlimited package. Let me explain. So I have audio exchange package. I have the Zoom sessions, and I also have the phone calls deluxe. Okay, so phone calls deluxe is 2 to 3 times. Actually, now I changed it to 3 times per week. Forgive me, I'm not getting it like straight all of a sudden because I just literally changed it. It just dawned on me that I want to introduce this. So, okay, let's start over. Phone calls deluxe is 3 times per week. Mandatory, essentially. It's not up to 2 to 3, it's 3 times per week. We rendezvous via phone calls. In between the phone calls, okay, you can send me text, emails, as many as you want, but don't be unreasonable about the hour and don't be unreasonable about the time it takes me to respond, okay? But that's a clause in my coaching agreement as well. And you can also send up to 5-minute long audio exchange. So this is basically for somebody who needs a lot of hand holding. All right. So the new version then is the unlimited phone call sessions, right? So it simply is 2 to 3 times per week we get together on the phone, and it does not include all this extra communication via text and email and audio exchange. Okay, so it's just we get together 2 to 3 times per week via phone. So I hope this is clear to everybody. I also wanted to thank everybody for joining my live. Thank you very much. I enjoyed it profoundly. I always do, even though some spammers joined in. I really loved interacting with all of you. And for those of you who are still making up their mind to book a session with me or to book coaching with me, I hope that you do give yourself a chance to really start doing the work on yourself. I'm unlike any other coach out there because I perceive, as most coaches, and I've done the research, okay? When I decided to offer coaching on YouTube, I was asked, it wasn't my intention. Most coaches don't spend this much time, like I say in my intro every single time, because it's just the truth. On their clients, they only have phone call packages. And that could be anything. There isn't a program in place. There isn't a strategy. There isn't a kind of like a destination. And that's a fucking problem, in my opinion. And most importantly, most coaches, to me, focus on affirmations, techniques, etc., when the root of the problem is actually what it is you believe and the kind of mental construct that you operate from. So I'm not one of those microwave coaches, okay? I'm a chef kind of coach, right? I'm a Rolls Royce kind of coach that I take this seriously enough because it's a responsibility to have a client in your coaching. And you should, for me, I take it very seriously. And this is why it's meticulous, and 2 to 3 months in coaching is what I recommend. So if you have any questions about it, you can email me or just book, sign the coaching agreement, and let's discuss on our first phone call. The subject of today is glitching into a reality of your choice. So I thought about this for a few days, actually. I was going to record this sooner, but I wanted to kind of think about this for a second. And it's really inspired by, I mean, everything that I've learned about manifesting, but also I had this really amazing dream where I'm in New York City, but the way that I dream of New York, when I dream of New York, it's like a cartoon. And basically, for me, the way that I understand reality in general is that it's not real. It's basically a construct, okay? It's a cartoon. And when you really start thinking of things in this way, where it's actually not real, it's not actual reality, it's an experience of a reality that you produce out of your consciousness, then this game becomes like super simple and clear. And especially if you understand that, these kinds of, expressions that everybody employs, everybody's you pushed out. I'm allergic to things that are overused, okay? These expressions, because most coaches, in my experience, and the things that I hear in my coaching from other clients, from the clients of past clients of those coaches that then come into my coaching, most coaches understand it in a very limited way and teach it so rigidly, basically regurgitating Neville or some other teacher in a very rigid way. And it's kind of very blameful, where for me, the way I teach it, it's a lot more freer, a lot more, you can breathe throughout your journey and understanding who you really are without blaming yourself, without being afraid to fuck things up. Okay, so if you understand this is just a game, and the contents of your consciousness will reflect on the screen of your space, again borrowed from Neville, but the idea is then that it's not so serious, right? So if I change who I am inside, then everything changes. And if I start making it work for myself rather than against me, then the game really fucking becomes extra fun. And so the dream was, I was walking in this cartoonish New York and kind of exploring. I always do that in my dream state. And I saw Times Square, but not the way that you would see it like in real life. It was very cartoonish again, and very kind of like in 1930s kind of deal, that style. And it was totally deserted for whatever reason. I don't know. It just was. And for whatever reason, upon seeing that, I thought to myself, wow, this is a perfect opportunity for me to glitch into my ultimate reality, my preferred reality. Just like everybody else, coach has her own objectives in life, and my things that I work on, and I never stop evolving, which all of you should have the same kind of like objectives in life, never stop evolving. And so I made that wish in my dream state. Now, parenthesis here. Okay, why is that important? Because first of all, there was an intention in my mind already. And you can do the same thing, whether in dream state or, just in a waking state, or however it is you please. There is no formula for you to glitch into a reality of your preference, other than, first of all, it takes a decision. Okay, it takes a concrete decision for you to change your life in the most dramatic manner. Now, again, parenthesis here, you need to believe that you can do it. And so if you believe it, it is not a lie. It's not a delusion. It's literally you creating that reality, you painting on that canvas, and you inviting this different kind of vibration where it literally, from where you are right now, since it's an increase in frequency, because you're traveling to this ultimate reality, the reality of your choice, is an upgrade. So from the frequency where you now reside, obviously you would feel really excited. You would feel really, it might just take your breath away, right? How fantastical things might be. In some time, maybe a year down the road or 2 years down the road, it will be habitual. It will not be as exciting. But from here, where you are right now, let's just say you have a lot of things going on. Maybe SP is not here. Maybe the money's not here, whatever. It would certainly be exciting to be in that reality. Okay. And so the number one thing is to get yourself to believe that, first of all, you can do it at will. with intensity. Okay, you have to be intense about it, and you have to leave your insecurities and fears behind. Now, again, this is the reason why belief work is so important, and this is why I really focus on your history in my coaching and what it is that you believe, because if you don't believe that you can do it, then you won't be able to do it. Understand that the only person for you to convince of this change and for you to convince of that this is possible for you is yourself. There's nobody else to convince. There's no technique. And affirmations, parenthesis here, no matter what anybody will tell you out there in a gazillion coach land, of the internet and YouTube, affirmations only work when you're in God state. When you've achieved that state that I am completely all-powerful. It's a lot easier to start with a feeling that you've arrived to that reality, and you, at the very least in your meditation, okay? And that's where it all starts. That's where magic really starts, in meditation, when you're contemplating about the things that you really want to create in your life, the job, the DSP, the whatever, the increase in your finances and all that jazz. This is the opportunity for you to invite this feeling or the rapport with that reality in. Okay, if you're just starting to jam in some affirmations without believing it, guess what? Your subconscious mind will tell you you're a fucking liar. This conversation is over. And so the trick to get to your subconscious mind, okay, whilst you're working on your beliefs, very important, is to familiarize yourself with the feeling, the vibration, the frequency of that reality where you want to glitch into. Okay, very important. You're not going to achieve it anywhere, anyhow else. Okay, you are just not. Okay, you have to know where you're going. You're not going to repeat like a fucking parrot, okay, till the end of the fucking time. I'm a millionaire, if you're feeling fucking broke. It's just not going to happen. The end. Period. The end. And any coach who says this shit, learned this, is borrowing that stupid shit from somebody else, and is a liar, quite frankly, because it just doesn't work. And if it does, it works for like one day, and back to shit show you go, and that's the end. I'm just saying, this angers me when people have absolutely no idea what they're talking about and make a whole career out of talking about affirmations. It's ridiculous. It's stupid. It's completely a disservice to humanity. I'm sorry, not sorry. Okay. You need to gently massage yourself into believing that this reality can come true for you. Okay, you need to familiarize yourself with this frequency, and you need to visit this reality from time to time. You're not going to switch in one day. Now, here's what happens. Okay, I'm kind of jumping ahead, but I have a ton of notes on my page, so bear with me, please. I want to make sure that I cover all of them. And if it gets too long for you, you know what? Tough shit. This is gold information. Oh, and I forgot to say, okay, from now on, in the beginning of my intro, I will be saying all of this content is copyright protected. For those people who still don't understand that it's not okay to steal, YouTube transcribes every single video, okay? So it's not hard, but there's a tool, my assistant tells me, that you can check if somebody plagiarizes you and says word for word what it is you're saying. So I'm going to have to just start saying it, I guess, it's just like, in the 80s, warning, this is copyright protected, like on tapes, VHS tapes. Anyway, oh my God. People are just all kinds of crazy. So the intensity has to be there. The desire for this reality to come over here, for you to really be invested in it and not in a desperate way. Okay? In a very like, this would be so wonderful. I already know how that feels. And you need to get familiar with it the more day by day. Okay? And this intensity will be your guiding light towards the ultimate manifestation of your glitching into that reality permanently. Okay, at some point there will be a tipping point where it's so much so in your consciousness that you're living more in that reality than in your old reality. And if you're intense about it, you will make the progress a lot sooner. And of course, provided you've done the work on your beliefs. Okay, otherwise it won't even start tipping over. Speaking it into existence also helps, but not, again, not in the way that some people teach. I'll give you a very simple example. Okay, yesterday, this is just like one of the myriads of examples that I can tell you. I'll give you two. All right. So yesterday I was working on a business deal with somebody, and it was not a big deal. I mean, I've worked with this person before and all this stuff, but he lives in Europe, so whatever. I knew that the time difference and la, but I just wanted to close out the week, productive and this and that, and I'm very focused on being productive. And as I'm washing my hands, coming out of the bathroom, I'm thinking to myself, I had a very productive day. I did this, that, and the other. I did this, that, and the other, and I completed this deal. Now, don't you know, okay, and I mean, this is like well into the night now, right? So it's like 9 o'clock in the evening, and whatever, it's Saturday night, and probably I won't hear from him. And I go to my phone, I check my email, and there he is. The deal is complete. So it's not about affirming 10,000 times. It's just being matter of fact about it, being playful with it, and totally expecting this outcome. Another example I can give you, again, very simple example, and somebody asked me about during my live about numerology and signs or something like this. And here's how numerology or signs really helps you, is the confirmation. So again, I was walking my dog. I was coming out my townhouse, and I said, right about now, again, working on a deal with somebody, this and that. And I said, right about now, it would be great if I received the confirmation that this deal will go through smoothly. And boom, the minute I say it, I saw the white feather, which is my sign for, yes, everything you want will become. And it did. In a day or two, it totally, completely, not even two, I think a day. So my pace is completely ridiculous. I mean, at this point, like how I manifest things. And so can you, okay? But you have to abandon, right? You have to set aside your insecurities and doubts and fears and really welcome the possibilities that have never been in your life. It's a lot more fun. At first, it's really like, holy shit, bananas. This is how reality works? Yes. I'm here to tell you yes. There's no need to wait. There's no need to suffer. There's no need to lack anything. You're the only one who's doing it to yourself. Okay? And when you offer yourself to discover these possibilities for yourself, you will start creating magic, like literal unprecedented magic. Why? Because you've allowed yourself to work on your beliefs. You've definitely processed all the mama drama panorama, and now you arrive at this completely unprecedented juncture in your life where you are experiencing things that you've never experienced before because you're a brand new person. So you need to start really understanding what it is you're doing with your mind. Your mind, like if I have somebody in coaching, and this is why coaching is so powerful, because if you yourself are just watching videos and doing affirmations and all that jazz, you're not going to go anywhere with that. You just aren't, darling, because there is not a person on the outside who is a professional, mind you, telling you, in the first conversation, in the first phone call, when I get together with my clients, my new clients, in the first conversation, I already know what needs to change for them to get what they want, okay? But it takes some time for them to start kind of like processing all that jazz and replacing it with something that they want to actually live. It's a process, all right? Don't you think that if you lived in dysfunction for X amount of years or decades in some cases, there's some work to do, and that's what you owe to yourself, quite frankly. It isn't going to happen in any kind of way, any other kind of way, I should say. And so the only person that you can bring into that reality is the genius, true, authentic you. You aren't going to be able to bring this person who you are right now with all the hang-ups that you have, all the kind of maybe victim mentality, even all the past trauma panorama that is totally dragging you down, totally delaying you, because a part of you, if not a lot of you, is still buying into that bullshit being valid. Whereas if you become like me, not for nothing, but not bragging or anything, but I'm just saying I had the presence of the mind to really kind of like say, I don't want to be like this. I don't want to be like my parents. I don't want to be like these people who believe in lack and limitation. I mean, I've met them throughout my life. Like at some point, my story is that, around like 28, 29, I started, diving into metaphysics, etc. The friends that I've had for like up to whatever, maybe like 8 years at that point, I didn't have anything in common anymore with them. Just didn't, because they preferred to party and stay up till 4 o'clock in the morning and this and that. And all of a sudden I got my shit together. I became a different person. Okay. And so into the new reality only can come the new genius self, not the old situation that you bought into at some point and you're still dragging along. No, you need to dump that shit. Okay. And it's not easy, but it's very necessary if you want new results in your life. You're channeling this reality that you're living right now, right? So channeling is like a very inspired, very pristine kind of process. You cannot channel a really good result or a miracle or whatever if you're still on the frequency of despair, of trying to muscle something in, trying to create magic on a foundation of desperation or all that junk that you've picked up along the way in your past years. It isn't going to happen. The frequency will need to shift. Okay. And if you do get any results, again, from affirmations or whatever, some kind of technique, it will be minuscule compared to what you can channel from the inspired state that has no limits. And we talked about this during our live, the God state. That's the ultimate channeling state of the ultimate reality. And if you get familiar with this frequency of that reality, the ultimate reality where you want, because what you're doing is you're getting familiar with that frequency so much so that even if you fall off the wagon, even if you fall off the God state, right, you know what it feels like. And you can take a minute to recalibrate yourself and say, oh yeah, now I remember. Oh yeah, now I remember. Because in your mind, you already decided, this is my money, this is my honey, this is whatever I want to create in my life. And this is a composite of ideas that you're going towards. You're not looking at how things are right now. You're not looking at your money right now in the bank account. You're not looking at the way that SP is reacting to you right now or not acting at all, okay? You are focusing on what you're doing with your mind, what you're radiating, what are you glitching into? The entire universe is your own. Okay, the universe doesn't have free will, parenthesis here. I'm going to make a whole other video on that, audio video, whatever. It's just under your spell, under your command the entirety of time, okay? And when you really become acutely aware, two things, that this is not real and everything is under your command, when you become acutely aware that just how unlimited is the number of parallel realities, you will realize how quickly your life can change in the most amazing way. These are the best words for me to describe this awareness, this acute awareness of I can literally jump realities right here, right now. But you need to develop this muscle and you need to understand that you can do this at will. But if you've never done it before, like I said, there is a process where you're massaging yourself into getting familiar with that frequency, and it will be gradual, but it will be so inspiring for you to suddenly see changes, real evidence, okay, in your reality. This is why, like, when people get into my coaching, they start like freaking out in the best way possible, because suddenly they get the shit they want. Okay, they get into my coaching thinking like, oh my God, am I going to make money after I spend this coaching money? And all of a sudden, hoopla, they make even more money. Okay, no matter who you are, even if you are like somebody who wants to become a coach, etc., or just a person who's just in coaching with me, you will make more money. You will make more money because it's going to be that you're becoming a different person. If you take my suggestions, Okay, very important. Underline 300 million times. And if you take my guidance, yes, you will make more money. And if you unstuck yourself from your previous kind of like thinking that you have to do things the same way and new stuff will appear. No, that's the definition of being insane. It's just like Einstein's quote, like doing the same things over and over again and expecting a different outcome. So you need to take my guidance. Can't stress this enough. Listen, when I say, there's no action needed and you can move worlds with energy, it is true, but some action is always necessary, right? I mean, I don't know, you eat, right? You take a shower, I'm assuming, right? You go do some work, you watch some movies, etc. You're enjoying life. Some action is necessary in the 3D. But it's the kind of action, right? So mostly it has to be inspired action, right? So funnel towards your excitement, towards the dream job or the dream business that you want, the dream relationship, etc. And so action in the 3D is pretty much mandatory. It's the kind of action you take, desperate or geared towards the fulfillment of your wish, right? So the number one trick to actually glitch into that preferred reality of your choice is to act, to behave, to act and feel the way your parallel self would. Okay, that's the best trick ever. But in order not just to dress like that person, not just to, somebody feels like honking, not just to dress like that person, not just to talk like that person, but your inside, the insides of you, your soul, your state of being, your mentality, your mood has to get on the same frequency of that person who's in that God state, in that reality already mentally. Okay, so let's just take an example. Right now, you're pretty fucking sad and depressed about some shit that isn't coming out the way that you want it to be, right? If you get into my coaching, not for nothing, not to brag, but true story, okay? Because some of you really fucking need it and you're denying yourself of that opportunity. It's fine, but just stating truth here, okay? Listen, the negative program is very fucking potent. Sometimes it literally stops you in the tracks from, becoming more empowered in your life. So much so, it tells you, no, you don't need this. You can do this by yourself. Literally stopping you from changing your beliefs. That's how powerful negative beliefs are. Anyway, so right now you are depressed about something, In one singular day, provided you've done the work, provided you understand how you can, if you fell off the proverbial wagon, which right now you find yourself in the situation, in one day you can elevate your mood so much so that you can change your entire day in one singular day. In a day, in a matter of hours, you can make shit appear that was not there before. And suddenly you are in a new parallel reality that you didn't even think was possible to manifest it so fast. But I know this from my experience and the experiences of my clients that this is absolutely the way reality works. Now think about it. On any given day you can change your life. How much fucking progress can you make in 1 week? It might just blow your fucking mind, right? Because a day is like 24 hours and, within 24 hours, like how many billions of parallel realities do you swim through every fucking split second? That's a lot of opportunity for you to change your mood, to change your configuration, to change how you're acting. How are you feeling on purpose, irregardless of what's going on? And so this commitment is the muscle that you have to develop towards your preferred parallel reality rather than taking cue from the 3D. Period, the end. And that's the mastership, quite frankly. It's not like, people who are like metaphysically or manifestationally evolved do not have problems arise here and there, or do not have shitty people sometimes confront them or whatever. But it's how you maneuver this reality to your benefit anyway, especially of those things, because of those things, and how you choose to change it then. And how your reality then, for the majority of the time, 99% of the time, is exactly the way you want it to be. Because literally nothing shakes you. You're like the Central Park oak tree. And that stability, that energy, that knowing, that belief like nobody can take away from you. Nobody, not in a million years. Only you can give it up, but nobody can take it from you. If you sprung up out of bed, which you might find yourself today, being depressed, sad, etc., or in that mood, if you suddenly, for no fucking reason other than you want to change your reality, which is a big deal, and this is a very good reason to spring up in your bed and put on the nicest clothes, put on some nice music, cook yourself a wonderful meal, start, coming up with ideas how you're going to turn the shit show situation around. Look outside, maybe the sunshine is there and the beautiful flowers and the spring and the this and the that, and you can start making lists of things that you're grateful for, and all of a sudden your mood is taking off. What's your reality transformed? And this is very simplistically explained, but in any one day, there's even a little bit of a shift is a huge shift for you to really congratulate yourself on. But what I'm talking about is really glitching in on such a level, on purpose, with intention, with your command, where literally the reality is constructed exactly the way that you want, top to bottom, and you get to cherry pick, you get to curate your reality just by decision alone. And this can only happen when you're free of the past drama, trauma, panorama. Let me tell you something, and I will close with this. I keep trying to come up with words that will illustrate how the shift in your belief system can really impact your life to such a degree that you will hardly believe it. Up until, again, age 28, 29, I used to have a certain kind of idea of how things happened in my life. Okay. Yeah, I knew that I could manifest things, and I've manifested a lot of things since age 12, and I knew exactly how I did it. But I thought that, it's like from time to time I get to manifest some things, but not on a regular basis. Well, let me tell you something. The quality of my experience as a human being from that time to now is just like I'm on a different planet. I'm in a different fucking galaxy. Okay, it has become so crystal clear that everything I think, everything I wish for, everything I say, it literally materializes. And that becomes when your instrument, your body, your mind gets purified from the past bullshit, from the past mama, drama, trauma, panorama. Seriously, you have such a blank canvas, but you literally don't have to work so hard anymore to manifest shit. The only thing that really blocks you so much is all of that impurity that you've got going on. Because in your normal state, in your gut state, it's effortless. It should be effortless. And so if it isn't effortless for you, there's some work to do. But the quality of the experience differs. It's just, I don't even know how to explain it. I really don't. It's an entirely different world. It's a totally magic world. It's a magical experience. And again, it isn't that some problems may not arise. It isn't that some shitty people might not come along once in a while. But the overall base, the quality of the experience, the 99% of your experience, of my experience, since I'm giving my example, is fucking amazing. But when I tell you it's fucking amazing, I feel in bliss most of the time. Yeah, sure, momentarily I may get upset. Sure, I may, I can get cranky, this and that. But overall, it's a presence of joy. It's a presence of happiness. It's a presence of knowing that you are unlimited, that you're a God. That anything you say goes, and that at any point that you decide to change something or to make something happen, all these things, manifesting SP, money, that's child's play. How about manifesting such vast differences in yourself where you can hardly believe the kind of person you have become? The idea is to get closer and closer to your God self, and that's exactly what the journey is. And then you can glitch into any parallel reality at will and really feel it, really see it happening right before your eyes, and really feel it. It's the feeling that gets you there, okay? It really is. You detect that you've shifted based on the way that it feels, how overwhelming in the best, sense of the word it feels, how everything is going in your favor, how it's yet another level of high frequency, and how truly, you're realizing that the only thing you need to do is decide. When you're in that pure state, the only thing you need to do is decide. And that's really it. And that, quite frankly, is what I wish for everybody to experience during their lifetime, because that is exactly how your life should be lived. Thank you very much for listening. All the information from me is below. Until next time. Ciao, ciao.